So yesterday we were able to look at the first two stages of the pillars of Power BI, right? So we talked about the 7 pillars of Power BI, right? So and I spoke to us about extraction. I said the first stage is extraction. I'm trying to look for that picture. Where is it? This training. Choose somewhere around there. Okay, yes, that's it. So I talked about the 7 pillars, all right, and I said we are going to look at extraction, transformation, modeling, calculation, visual, distribution, and automation. And yesterday we were able to, at least with a data set called episode, do a bit of transformation to extract and transform. So today we also look at this data. We also look at like 2 other modes of transformation that we can do, all right, different ways. So we're going to look at this CSV file. We are going to import it and look at what we can, how we can transform it in a bit to suit what we need it to be, all right. So, and after that, we are going to look at one more data set that will help us to understand how to match, how to append, and how to really then we'll at least ensure that we touch about modeling a bit, all right, today. So let's get started. Let me open my Power BI. You can see my screen now, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. So Power BI is opening. Has opened. Delete all this. Cancel this. Okay. So I told us 2 ways to extract and transform your data. Is either you come from here, all right, or you go to transform data directly and you double click and that takes it to Power Query. So any which way works. So so we go from here now. So it's a CSV file, different from the Excel file we work with together. So you click on test.csv, all right. The data is in English, so downloads. Okay. So you click on that, a file, and then you open. So it's a CSV file, comma separated, but immediately we import it, Power Query helps to really differentiate it and make it more meaningful, right? So this is a preview of about first 200 rows, right? So this is, you can see here that the delimiter is what is tab. So if to say the delimiter is comma, it will say a comma. So this is the file origin, a Unicode. So because it's from our notepad, right? So then, of course, this is extraction. What we've just done now is we've extracted our data, right? So we now want to transform the data. So we click on transform data. So you might not need to come to transform data every now and then if your data is clean, right? So, so we have our data here now, all right? So we can look around it and see what we can do, transformations we can do, and a bit of the transformations I want us to do here. I think I have a question here. Okay, but I can still remember, no issues. So I will type it out again. So what I want us to do is I want us to subtract. You can see, so we look at the field first. Are they of the right data type? This is category, the right data type. City, right data type. Country, right data type. Customer ID, right data type, which is test. You can see the data type here. Customer name, right data type. Discount, right data type. Market, right data type. Then this, we don't really know what this is. Is it in Chinese or which one is this? So we might have to delete it because we don't really know what it's doing. So it's part of our transmission process. Order date, right data type. Order ID, yes, 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 yes. Product ID, all right. Row ID, this is row ID, all right. Okay. So the first thing is Control N. So you can see my screen. So the first thing I want us to do is to move the row ID to the first to the beginning now, because that's a unique identifier of that table. All right, I want us to create a dimension table that consists of distinct product ID, product name, and quantity, right? So that's one other question. The other one
Go
is
back, sir. The product ID. The product ID.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Another thing is create a dimension, another dimension table showing distinct customer ID and customer names. All right. So the next question is calculate the difference in hours and days, in days and hours calculate the difference in days and hours, calculate the difference, okay, between order date and ship date, right? We want to know the difference in days, all right, between those 2 days. And so I haven't done that. The fifth question will be around, see, remember that 15. Okay. So the fifth question will be around group the city, region, and country on, I think that's on total sales, right? Is it total sales? On sales, this yeah, sales and sales. So we attempt these 5 questions. These are the basic transformation process I want us to do. All right. Why do we need this, right? It's because if you look at this table, it's a very large table, right? Task category, city, country, customer ID, customer name, discount, and all that. But sometimes, because it's always preferable, right? to just so far it has keys because you can see row ID. I can see product, I can see customer ID, I can see product ID. All right. So instead of having everything together in this place, we can create a dimension, right? That the dimension would now be D product, and D customer. So the D in front is dimension product and dimension customer, so that we can reduce this table instead of having. So we can remove product. Sorry. So you can, like for example, you can remove product name from here. All right. You can remove customer name from here because we will have used the dimension we created, which contains customer ID and customer name, to link it up. You see how that is going to be done now. All right, so let's get started. So the first thing is, if you can see the row ID here, the row ID here is like the primary key. All right, because this is a global superstore. So the row ID, where is it? Okay, this is the row ID. So we're told to do what? Move this row ID to the beginning. How do you do that? Two ways. Is either you click on your left mouse. Sorry, Joseph is saying the stream has paused. It's your network. We cannot see my screen, right? Hello?
Yes, I can see your screen, sir. Yes, I can see your screen.
Okay. Because Joseph is saying you can't see. It is just you. You
So
try.
maybe you should try to reconnect back.
You should disconnect and reconnect back.
Yeah. So two ways to do this, as I've said, to move the row ID to the beginning. There you press your left key, your left mouse, right? And then you drag, just the way you dragged it, and you drag to the beginning. All right. But that's a bit less stressful, right? You can right click on that row, on that column, and then come down here to say move. So it asks you want to move to the left, move to the right, to the beginning, or to the end. So we want to move it to the beginning. So we just move this to the beginning. All right. We can sort it to just sort it ascending, right? So I will just so that it's in this format. I think it's better this way, all right? So it's been sorted in ascending order. So we are done with question 1. So this gives us like a primary key to any other table. All right. So the next thing for us to do is to create a dimension table that consists of distinct product ID, product name, and quantity. So I'll come back here and say I'll duplicate this, right? I can name this global store, and then duplicate this. Duplicate this D products. So name this D products. So duplicate this and name it D products. So in this new table now, what you need is just what? The product ID, product. So what you need is just product ID, product name, and quantity. I hope you get how I'm getting this. What's it called? These 3 selected. All you need to do is press Control key down and then highlight these 3 columns. Just click on them, press your Control key down, click on the first, on the second and on the last. So this gives you what you want. So this way you can now what? Delete, remove other columns, right? So remove other columns so that you are left with what you need. So let's delete this guy as well. Probably we mistakenly clicked on it. So these are the 3 columns we need. So for product ID, I can move it to the beginning just by dragging. So, or you can right click and go and use, or you can also right click and use move and then to the beginning. But so we have this now, right? But because it's a dimension, what is the difference between a dimension and a fact? So a dimension is a table that contains a unique value or unique parameters. It must contain unique parameters or unique values. That's a dimension. But a fact can contain repetitive values, right? It can be duplicated. You can complain, like for example, now if you are making an order on Jumia, all right, as a customer, let's say your ID is 4. If you bought shoe today, you bought shoe today now, let's say you bought shoe 5,000. Next week again, you bought another thing. So you are buying different things, right? So it's still your ID, but on another table, it will be showing the days you bought things. Okay, on the 12th you bought shoe, on the 13th so it's repetitive. Such table that contains every of your purchase is what we call the fact table, right? But your dimension will be now everywhere. The dimension will be the table containing all unique customers. Let's say the company has 15 customers. So all those 15 customers, that's the dimension. So there must be a link between that dimension now, which is the customer list, and the fact. So in that case, what should be the link? It should be customer. So meaning in that your repetitive purchase, you should have a customer ID that you can link with the customer ID in your dimension table. So this guy that we are trying to do here, we are trying to create a dimension from this guy. So sometimes why I'm giving us this scenario is sometimes there is a need for this. There is a need for us to, we will just have a table, but there is a need for us to create another dimension from that table so that you make work easier for you, right? So in this case, we will so in this case, it must have unique values. So we have to delete duplicates from this guy now. So remove duplicates. Remove duplicates, right? So I've removed duplicate now. So all the values there, they are distinct. They are all distinct. All right. I believe I remove duplicates. Okay, the values there are distinct now. So with this done, we have our dimension. So now, because product name and product quantity is already here, we won't need it in the global superstore again, because we can connect this global superstore using this product ID here to the product ID in this place. So there is, for every product ID, there is a product name and quantity here. So we don't need product name. We won't need product name and product quantity here any longer. So we don't need these two here again. So we can do what? We can right click and okay, yeah. So we can right click and then delete it from here. Remove columns, right? So we don't need that. Okay, so what will only be here will be the product ID. Fine, right? So that way, you've been able to answer this second question. Create a dimension that consists of distinct product ID, product name, and quantity. How did you get that distinct product ID? So if you have questions, just let me know in between. How did you get this distinct product ID? Is by what? Removing duplicate from product ID. Now, the next dimension we have to create is the customer dimension, which is customer ID and customer names. Same way, come back here and duplicate this guy. Duplicate. All right. So the customer. Same way, all I need to do is come here, highlight customer ID and customer name, and do what? And remove other columns. So I am left with those two, right? And the same way we did for product ID, we right click and then remove duplicates from here. So we have eliminated duplicate from here. So this becomes our customer dimension. So here now I can come here and remove customer name. I wouldn't need customer name from here now because I can use customer ID and the customer ID in this the customer to link to bring in customer name. So remove column, remove. Right? We are done with that. The next question is calculate the difference between order date and ship date in days and in hours. All right. So to do this, where is our ship date? Ship date is, for example, if you order on Jumia, you order on 12th, right? And they brought your goods on 15th. All right. So meaning ship date must be earlier than order date. So order date come first. So meaning we have to calculate the difference between this order date here and ship date, right? And the ship date. So two ways we can do that. The first is I can highlight the two days, right? The two columns rather. So by clicking my yes, or I can even bring them together so that at least I can see them at a go. So I've highlighted the two. All right. Then I can come to transform day. All right. And then I say day. So, okay, it's giving us day. So I know this might not work. All right. So what I can do is this is 2/10/2014. This is 6/10/2014. All right. So I can say there are different ways. So let's just use this other method. So let's duplicate these guys. Sorry, give me 1 minute. Guys, so I can duplicate this. I've highlighted these two columns. I'll just say where is duplicate now? Okay, you can only duplicate at once. So duplicate column, all right, and then the other one as well. Ship date, duplicate column, right? So they are at the end now, which is very fine. So I can now do my conversion to day. So it's picking the day 2 and 6, 15 and 20, 15 and 20 like that. So let's see day, come to date under transform and then pick day, right? So it has picked the date, right? So the next thing we can do now is to now get the difference, right? We have 10 minutes left, right? We have 10 minutes. Sorry, guys. So I've gotten my order date and ship date in days now. So this is day 2, day 6, day 15, day 20. So I can now do a subtraction. All right. So 2 ways to do a subtraction. Here is not bringing it up. Normally, we should be able to just subtract those 2 columns from here. Let me see. It has become. So here, normally, we should be able to subtract. It will come to statistics or standard, then you do subtract. But if that is not applicable here, so I can, so let me just say day order. We name this day order. All right. As you practice, you will see that there are other approaches you can employ, right, to achieve this day ship, right? So you now go to add columns, right? Custom column. So let's name it difference. Order underscore ship. Order underscore ship difference, right? So I'll pick those 2 guys. I'll pick the ship, click on it, insert, minus or day order, click on it, insert. That gives us the difference. Okay. So we have the difference now. You can see 5, 4. This is a minus 26. This will not work. This will not work. No. Having negative this. Okay. So this is what we'll do. So let me delete this. Yes. So this is what we'll do. I was thinking that approach will work. So let's create custom column. All right. Day difference. So we just pick that the ship date and the other date directly, and we get the difference. So because it's a date fit, so it will give us the difference directly. So let's locate ship date, right? Minus order date, insert. Okay. All right, you can see now we now have our difference in this 5, 4. So we can now split this now. What we just need is the first letter. So we can split this, or we can just extract the first. We can extract the first character. So I want to do an extraction, right? Extract the first character. So I'll come to transform, extract first characters. So how many? Just one, just the first one. So it will extract, you can see now it has extracted just the 4 first characters, right? So this is of data type text. I have to change this to data type number. So whole number, so that I can work with it. So we've done our first part now. This is the difference. I can rename it difference in this. So why do we need this, right? Why do we need to do such transformation? So these are normally you will not get. So you might want to do an analysis that wants to show, okay, how long does it take between order date and ship date? This will help the company to know, okay, is it that our logistic guys are not delivering at the right time? All right, or there's something we need to improve on. So this will help you to think, okay, our logistics guys are not delivering fine, or maybe the production and all that. So what is the customer satisfaction and all that? So this way you can do analysis, say days by difference in days, right? And you do like an histogram to see, is it a normal curve, is normal, okay, it's fine. Is he skilled or something? Or you can check that against some of the parameters. So these are some of the analysis you have to do. So this is very, very key sometimes. So we have the difference in days now. So the next question now says, get the difference in hours. That is very simple. If this is 4 days, to get 4 days in hours, what would that be? Anybody to help? To get 4 days now in hours, what would that be? How would we do that? Any idea? Just send, drop a chat in the comment section. Any idea? No idea. Michael Yodo. No idea. So let's delete this. But are we following? Just press, just type yes. We are following. Let me hear our response in the chat session. So to do that in hours, okay. To do that in hours is just for us. If 24 hours make a day. So to get this in hours now, that's just for us to multiply this by 24. That's all. So 2 ways to do that. You can come here and add custom column and say different in days. Pick this column. Right, let me do that. Custom column in hours, right? You can come here and say, okay, difference in days, click it, insert, times in hours. Now that's 24. All right, and you get your answer. All right, this gives us in hours now, right? So, but one other approach is you can click on difference in days and then come to standard, right? And then you click on what? Multiply. So it will come up with a dialog box and say, okay, you can multiply with, okay, so you can multiply. It's either it will give you 2 options. It's either you enter a value or use values in a column. So you can pick a column like this. So let's say you want to multiply week norm and difference in days. So to give you, if you pick, use a column now, you'll be able to pick, okay, let me say I want to pick week norm, for example. So it will multiply 40 by 4, 42 by 5, like that. But in this case, you are not picking a column, right? So we want to just enter value. So we want to multiply by what? 24, because 24 times the in days gives us an hour. So we just say, okay. So instantly, you can see, so instantly it does that multiplication for us. And then we can now name this in hours. So any approach is an approach. Okay, I was saying, how do I get this difference in days in hours? So you know it's in hours here now. So how do I now get it in hours? So I've done that already. Just multiply by 24, all right? So just have so that is that. We are done with this question. We have less than 2 minutes. So let's do this last one. So group the city, region, and country. If you have questions, just let me know in the comment section, please. Group the city, region, country on sales. So we want another dimension. So we can just come here and do what? Duplicate this. All right. Duplicated. We want to write it group by. All right. So when we named it that group by, we can now go and select what we need, right? We just need city, country, and region. Right? Oh, so city, country, city, country,